It's ginormous.
Yeah, Jess, that's a great thing to start with.
Leave me
Hello.
alone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our stream. It's a little bit different, but this is kind of cool. We're doing it with like a easy on the eyes kind of layout here. But yeah, we're gonna start off. We're
No.
playing some more Waterdeep Season 3, not in Waterdeep, but Candlekeep. What?
I don't know why I thought you said we were gonna play some World of Warcraft, and I was gonna go, no, you're wrong.
Hi guys, we're gonna play chess.
Here comes the Sapper Rush.
Yeah. Oh my god, we're gonna play some Renegade. Hope you guys are ready for it. But no, we are here. We're gonna continue our expedition for knowledge. So without further ado, I am Drumstick. Or I'm Nick. I play Drumstick. Sorry, I'm Drumstick and I play Nick. It's
we're in rare
interchangeable.
form again tonight.
Oh yeah, Drumstick. He is a wonderful Minotaur fighter who doesn't have a soul right now. Kind of. No, he does, but it's being stretched and he can't take it anymore. So yeah, he's on a little bit of a nature. Never mind.
How did you get into that problem?
I kind of sold it. Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
I made a
Yeah?
deal with Asmodeus because I'm a problem.
Yeah?
Saying it out
Not a
loud
problem,
is the first step.
So that's
You're the
me.
problem child?
I'm pretty sure, Jess has more to say about it than I do.
Oh, what, that you're the problem child?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he is. Hi, I'm Jess. I play Blaze, our Celestial Pact Tabaxi Warlock. I just completely forgot what words were for a second. I have a bag of peanut M&Ms. I don't know how that's relevant information, but it is. Can't wait to figure out what the fuck's going on, because I don't know anymore. I'm a Celestial? What? What? Surprised Pikachu face? I'm gonna pass it to Oliver.
I'm Oliver. I play Warren Woodbrook, human inquisitive rogue. I gotta yawn real quick here. Hold on.
That's how you make a good intro.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I've been doing a lot of studying. I feel like I'm been doing most of the work that we actually came here to do while everyone else is off just looking up. Want to turn into a werewolf or a shape changer or whatever they want to do.
Is that a bad thing?
Just saying, we kind of had a goal when we got here, and now.
Excuse me, Candlekeep. What do you know about bread?
Yeah.
Bread?
Oh wow! Don't at me, okay?
Yeah.
I would like to know more about carbs, please.
Yeah, we had to get Drumstick's pasta recipes. That was a priority after all this. Yeah, I've been trying to keep us on track. Other than that, and that is where we are. So that's all three of us that are here right now.
All right. And I'm Kevin. I DM this game. I'm not in charge. I'm absolutely not in control. Sometimes I have no idea what's going on, and I definitely don't know what's going to happen next. The last couple of sessions, we've been sitting here in Candlekeep, and Oliver was correct. A lot of information has been gathered on topics, both relevant and not. But that's fine. Candlekeep is a great repository of knowledge, and they're not. If you've got a question, it's one of the best places to possibly get an answer. And this is the fourth day that you guys have been here.
It's the third day.
Third day. That's right.
Maybe it was the fourth. I don't know.
No, it was third.
You kind of arrived late for one day.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say it's your third day as far as the official counting of days goes. And you're allotted a total of 10 days of research per year. In the last session, you guys had a talk with a infernal summoner who gave you quite a bit of information on the hells, devils, and the general working of things. and also informed Blaze that yes, she was celestial. Don't know too much about what that means yet.
Fuck if I know.
That's fine. I've only been dropping hints about it for 4 or 5 months.
You know.
So you guys have a pair of shared rooms that you've been assigned here, that you've been sleeping in, spending your off hours in. Now, most of your day has been spent either researching or taking care of food needs and things like that. So let's get you at the tavern that's here in Candlekeep and start you out with some breakfast and a table conversation. And let's see where things go from there.
So, I'm gonna put my hands on the table. I have been looking more into the druid crafts, and I think I've decided what I want to do.
What's that?
I want to fortify my muscles, and I need to see if there was any druid sort of druidcraft kind of spells or anything that I can learn, something to try and maybe fortify that. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, Drumstick, we're all very excited about your muscles.
uh,
Yeah?
I'm just gonna
Hi.
be like, hey.
I'm here to make click things.
Oh,
Hello, yes,
Hello.
I'm going
I
to
just.
move it. But yes, that
When are
is
you
what
gonna
I
start
want to.
learning druid shit?
I'm gonna start learning it right after we're done with food because I I'm excited and I just want this to happen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's gonna be the first thing you transform into as a druid?
um. Uh.
Important questions.
Uh.
Probably,
Start
Yeah?
probably a cow.
I want to turn into a cow. Yeah.
yeah, perfect.
Do not.
Mhm.
I want to turn into a cow that stands on 4 legs instead of 2.
Okay. I
Wait,
support you. I support your life
Fine.
choices.
Yeah,
Sweet.
cows. Cows already. Cows already stand on 4 legs.
Not if they're minotaurs.
Yeah.
That's not a cow.
It is a cow.
Isn't it?
It's like it's like a cow.
You missed his cow mating call.
It's like
It's bovine, but it's not a cow.
it's like a furry version of a cow.
hmm.
Why did you do this?
You okay there, Jess? Are you gonna need a minute?
I've never really thought of minotaurs as furry at all, actually. Like, do you,
Oh well, I mean,
Drumstick,
They have
do you,
fur.
hair.
do you like comb all that fur?
Occasionally.
I mean,
Don't
Interesting.
judge me.
why wouldn't a minotaur be furry?
I mean, it's technically fur, but I wouldn't really use the adjective furry to describe it.
No,
I'm
'cause it's
like
so
fur is
glad I
teddy bear.
started this debate.
Yeah, it's like beagle fur, where it's like super short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't call that furry. It's fur, but it's not furry.
I mean, I'm sure it's thicker in some places.
Like you can have
Oh.
Longer?
like a
Rather than thicker would be the word I'd want.
I guess,
Mhm.
I guess technically both.
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 okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess druid broomstick would be interesting.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna have these muscles, but maybe I just want things to fortify these guns of mine.
Are you gonna take any healing as a druid, or are you just going like full on?
Why would I need to heal when?
I don't know, bitch. You're the one
That's-
who's becoming a druid. Isn't that what they do besides talk to animals? And sometimes plants? Do they talk to plants? I feel like druids would talk to plants.
It's mostly what they talk to.
Personally, I would love a druid option that is almost entirely plant-based because I want to play Swamp Thing.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, not surprised.
Not surprised at all.
Shouldn't be. So, Warren, you notice that there's a young man over at another table that's kind of been watching your group for a little while. And he looks pretty nervous. And when you spot him, he sees you looking at him. And walks over to your table. Excuse me? Are you guys the heroes of Waterdeep?
If you're here to offer your services as a guide, like the last person, we really don't need one in Candlekeep. That's kind of on the house.
No, it's nothing like that. I need your help.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
Now this guy is super thin and skinny. Like the robe he's wearing looks like it's about ready to fall off his shoulders because he barely has shoulders. His head is shaved completely. His eyebrows are shaved completely. And he has a series of intricate tattoos all the way down his head, going down the back of his neck. And he says, I'm here with my master, Azir Khan, and I am afraid that he is attempting to steal a tome from the library.
What makes him think he can get away with that?
I don't know, and I don't think he will get away with it. And if he is ejected from the library, his mission will fail. And not just me, but my entire family will be punished.
What kind of tome is he trying to steal?
I don't know. It's I'm not even sure what he's researching here. He's the Thayan ambassador to Waterdeep. Now, Thay is a country far to the east. It's ruled over by a council of wizards, more than a few of which are actually liches. It is not a great happy place. The nation functions because of massive amounts of slavery. The population is either in charge or enslaved. There's very few people who fall outside of one of those two groups. Thay is not a wonderful place.
No,
Okay.
it does not sound it.
So, considering that they offer copying services here, and he feels the need to steal a book, it's probably got something awful in it. Which is confirmed by the fact that he's from Fae. They would be after awful secrets, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah.
So,
A little bit of stereotyping, but probably not wrong in this case.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, if there's a book that they won't let you take the information out of Candlekeep, it's got to be pretty serious. I mean, we know that Vial got to look at one of their restricted books, and it sounded like it was a pretty awkward affair for her.
You've definitely noticed security here is tight.
Yeah. So, what is it exactly that you expect us to do about your master stealing a book?
If I report this to the acolytes, he will be ejected from the library, and then my family will be punished. I can't be involved in this, but if he attempts to leave with it, he'll almost certainly be caught, and the exact same thing will happen.
Okay.
I need your help. I don't know what to do.
Um,
I recognized you, and I believe I can trust you to help me.
I'm not sure that there's much we can do that that won't get him kicked out. You can't report it. I mean, I feel if we report it, we'll get kicked. He'll get kicked out just the same. But I guess I
Well,
suppose
instead of reporting it, why don't we try to convince him not to do this, or why don't we just try to take this into our own hands?
well, one thing we definitely can't do that we're supposed to, leave our allegiances behind. I'm assuming they don't want any fighting in Candlekeep. It's neutral ground, so we can't
Yeah,
physically stop him.
that's one of the big rules. Don't destroy the books. No violence.
So
I
we
mean,
can't physically stop him from doing whatever he wants to do. But I guess we could talk to him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I could
Um,
go up and tackle him and be like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long," and pretend to be like a good friend that hasn't seen him in a while, and then like drag him off somewhere, like, "Come on, I need to talk to you about something," and you know,
Okay.
or we could just go talk to him, one of the two.
No, you can do that. That's fine. It
Oh,
would be a good.
am I getting permission
Diversion?
from Dad?
Yeah.
Oh my
Just
God!
it would be a good way to start the conversation.
You're gonna make
Let's
me
not start with trying to convince him
You're gonna
not
make
to
me
steal.
cry.
Let's not accuse him first. Let's lull him into a false sense of security.
Yeah, let's at least try to find out what's going on here.
Yeah.
What's so important that he thinks he can do this? He's clearly not very smart if he thinks he can do this, so we need to handle this with kid gloves.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so ready.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, where is he?
He should be. He'll be leaving his chamber soon, and we'll be going to one of the necessariums to continue research.
Great. Okay.
Where's his chamber? I'm
Point.
gonna run to
Yeah.
it.
Point Drumstick in the right direction.
I'm gonna stop him.
This skinny little guy kind of points to where his master has been uh, staying. It's a room almost identical to the rooms you've been given. When you see this guy leave, he's tall, like a 6'2" kind of tall, and not a small man by any stretch. The width of shoulder matches the height. In any other scenario, you would probably assume that this guy is a warrior or fighter of some type. However, he's wearing a robe and then carrying a staff, which has a crystal skull at the top of it.
Is this guy
And
fucking evil?
Probably. Yeah.
well, the very little you know about him is that you were told he's an ambassador from Thay staying in Waterdeep. The embassy in Thay is a bit of a hot topic for debate. Most of the members of the Lord's Alliance would rather not see any Thayan influence at all on the Sword Coast. But the nation does have a considerable amount of wealth, mostly because they do not pay their labor, and they create and export a lot of magical items. The nation is ruled by wizards, many of whom are powerful necromancers. So now, when this guy is walking down the hall from his assigned quarters, he's got this like aura of arrogance around him. Like the ground he walks on is not good enough for his feet.
Okay.
All right. Go forth.
Nice. I'm gonna be obnoxious and trot up to him.
Do it.
I'm just gonna be like, Hey yo, sir. Can I just talk to you real quick?
You may not. And he keeps walking.
Brosif. Quick question. Why do you think it's cool to steal?
I beg your pardon?
I heard from a little skinny white boy that you're gonna try to steal and possibly get yourself kicked out of here. So what's up?
Give me an insight check.
By the way, this is why I don't usually allow any of Drumstik's plans.
Nat 20.
Oh, you got a fucking nat 20.
Okay. You literally saw the flash in his eyes as he recalled and reached for and mentally prepared a lightning bolt and stopped himself before he could cast it.
I'm gonna tense up slightly, but I'm still gonna stand my ground.
What has that lying little wretch been telling you?
The truth. No. Well, he's concerned. He doesn't want you to get kicked out of here. He doesn't want you to just, do something that would hamper your mission.
By speaking to you, he has committed treason.
Oh shit.
Okay, but you can't kill him here. This is a sacred place. You can kill him outside, but not here.
No, nobody is dying. That's unnecessary. Drumstick, please.
But I don't know. He just said treason, so I don't know.
He's just fuming with anger right now.
First of all, I need to understand why is it treason? Treason to report you for about to commit a crime? Like, I don't know. It just seems like he cares
Any
about you.
defiance.
Is it really defiance when he cares about you?
Where is he? And he starts walking away from you, furious, and searching for his servant.
All right, guys, let's go back to the books. Let's find.
I'm going to sort of. I was not part. I was standing in the back,
Mhm.
sort of watching because I knew this was going to be a disaster. And this is when I sort of stepped, casually out into the path of the guy. And I'm like, oh, if you'll excuse me, I misplaced my cow. He's probably made a terrible problem of himself already, hasn't he?
You don't
I
own
apologize, sir.
You don't own me.
Your cow. I'm gonna turn around and just be like,
You
Your
know
cow.
how it is dealing with
your cow.
people like this, if you can even call him a person,
Whoa!
I'm
I
gonna
would have
leave.
had him executed by now if he was in my service.
Well, he would probably he probably deserves it, and I'm just gonna sidle up a little bit and be like, I'm just waiting for the beef to toughen up a little bit. You gotta wait until
Okay, I'm gonna take a swing at him. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to stomp off, and I'm very upset.
Warren!
Yeah, bye. I'm gonna turn around to leave. I'm gonna go back to the books or something. I'm not being here right now.
Shit! That was rude.
And I'm gonna
That
call
was
back,
mean.
fuck you, and then just keep going.
Is the Minotaur in your service?
I mean, you could kind of say that, I suppose.
I'm a grown,
yeah.
independent Minotaur. Don't need no fucking teammates.
I will take responsibility for any embarrassment he has caused you. Let's put it that way.
you're just gonna hear sobbing, like loud sobbing coming from far down the hall.
I'm gonna dash off to go comfort Drumstij because that was mean as shit.
Have you seen Zorik? He is my wayward servant.
Oh,
I need you to find him immediately.
the young man with no eyebrows. I did
This guy
notice he
has
was
also shaved all eyebrows too.
okay.
It's a thing.
Right. Okay. He I don't know where he is right now. I did see him talking with the Minotaur. I overheard some interesting gossip, and I was actually wondering what brings such an important man as you all the way to Candlekeep.
Knowledge, of course.
Well, obviously. I myself have come here to research infernal contract law. Negotiations with devils. I don't know if it's your thing exactly, but I figure it's always a handy bit of knowledge to know how to talk your way around an infernal contract.
That's why I prefer the undead. They obey without question.
Yes, I mean they both have their advantages and disadvantages. Devils can be cunning, which can cut both ways. Undead usually not so much.
Free will is a horrible thing to have in a servant.
Well, yes, as we have noticed from the way that Drumstij acts, that can certainly be true sometimes.
No. It seems to me like you're trying to schmooze the guy a little bit.
Yeah.
Can I get a persuasion check?
Sure.
See how well the schmooze is working.
Okay. That is going to... Oh, that's a good roll. 27.
Okay. He does appear to relax a little bit. And you were saying? Go on.
Yes, as I said, dealing with devils, infernal contracts, that sort of thing. There's quite a lot of power to be had. That I suppose you look for power in your own way. Is that why you're here? What is the knowledge that brings you here? It must be something particularly interesting.
It would be no stretch to say that I seek power. Who does not?
Obviously.
But I my goals are private.
I understand. I'm disappointed by what I understand.
You do look familiar to me. Is there some place I may have seen you, other than your
People magazine.
Well, I do originally hail from Waterdeep. I recognize you as the ambassador, of course. There was, I don't know. I've been to a couple of parties. There was one with I don't actually remember the name of the family, but that whichever family we went to, yeah,
Thon.
I've been to a couple of parties. The last one I went to, the Thons. I'm sure you probably met them. Perhaps we saw each other at one of those functions. I'm not sure if you were ever introduced, but
It is possible. I've been residing in Waterdeep for the last 6 months.
so I'm certain you look like the kind of gentleman who would move in higher social circles, and then you're not going to be hanging around the docks very much. If
No,
so,
certainly not.
no, we probably saw each other at one of those parties.
I would like. I need to find my servant immediately. He must be disciplined.
Ooh.
Well, as I said, I'm not sure where he is. He scurried off after talking to the cow. I'm sure that can wait. Perhaps it looked as if he already knew he had done wrong. Now, far be it from me to instruct you on how to deal with your servants, but perhaps the tension of knowing that he has done wrong, just give him a little bit to reflect on that. It might might do its own work.
I will be the judge of how I discipline my servants.
That's fair enough.
And you can tell that he stumbles over the word servant, as he would be accustomed to using the word slave.
Well, the thing is, how long have you been here in Candlekeep?
It is my second day this morning.
So you've got 8 left. I don't know what you've come here looking for, because you do not seem willing to share that, But the days can go quickly. That's all I'm going to say. The time it would take to adequately discipline a servant, do you really have that kind of time?
It will not take long.
Fair enough. I suppose I should tell you then. This meeting between the two of us was not by accident. I don't know what your business is, but I do know that there are eyes on you right now.
Is that a threat?
I meant it to be a helpful warning.
Then I will take it as such. But excuse me, I must attend to my business.
Very well. But again, I'll stress to you, you are being watched here. Perhaps you were already aware of that. But if you were not already aware, you must exercise great caution.
He gives a very dismissive nod, but without saying another word, walks off in the direction of the tavern.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go up to Blaze and Drumstij. Drumstij?
Don't
Ophelia's
talk
probably
to
there now.
me. You're a rude
Drumstij?
bitch. I'm just like sobbing. I'm sitting there just like.
Yeah, why did you have to be so mean?
Drumstij, I'm sorry, but you know what you did.
What? Excuse me? I'm gonna stop sobbing and immediately turn around and be like, what? Oh, actually, yes, I do. Never mind.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right, Boo.
This is why I usually don't give you permission to go run off and be the vanguard of the plans.
Yeah, but like it worked, didn't it?
No, it didn't work at all.
What do you mean?
That was the exact opposite of working.
It got you involved. That's what I wanted to happen.
Okay, well, it would have been nice if he had been primed a little bit better to have not been rushing off to go discipline the servants. Also, by the way, apparently they're doing some work in the apartment behind you. If you end up hearing that, I apologize.
I thought you were talking.
I got a thunderstorm rolling in behind me, so it'll all be good.
I thought you were talking about in game. I was gonna be like,
No.
whoa, what apartment?
What?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I really wanted him to not be on the defensive before we tried to figure out what exactly he was doing here.
Well, I just wanted to make sure we got his attention. But in the end, I'm assuming you kind of talked things out with him a lot better than I did.
I don't know about that. I did what I could with the situation, I guess.
I mean, it's in the end, we did what we could. It's not our priority. It's not our
Okay.
problem.
Well-
Unless he comes and tries to murder us, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Or tries to give me a big old kiss without my permission, then that's another big problem, but...
I don't think he's going to do that. He
Okay.
might try to murder you.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Hopefully not.
If he gets out of here without being arrested. If they even arrest here, I don't know. It sounds like if you get caught breaking the rules inside Candlekeep, you might be in for a bad time.
Warren, Blaze, and Ophelia,
Yes.
give me an insight roll right now.
I have a +0 to insight.
21.
27.
11.
Okay. Ophelia and Warren, you've both observed Drumstij for a very long time. And you know what type of man he is, or at least was. But this current indifference to the servant's fate is almost certainly a repercussion of Drumstij's soul being disconnected.
Yeah. We got to keep a closer eye on him.
Are you saying I'm a problem?
Yes,
Oh, okay, fair.
absolutely. Drumstij, you know this.
Listen, I know, but I can't defend myself in this situation because you're right. Fuck.
Exactly. Okay, well, hopefully we'll use this as a learning experience that Drumstij, next time you come up with an idea,
I'll
yours
just
is the
do it
plan B.
anyways. No,
No.
okay.
No. Now, since that conversation's happened, the impression you got from Azir Khan as he's walking off is he fully intends to kill that servant at the earliest opportunity. By divulging his plans in such a way, which is actual treason in Thay, the punishment for that is death, and he plans to execute this man as soon as possible.
All right. Well, would one even be allowed to do that within the walls of Candlekeep? Does that violate the rules?
Not necessarily inside the walls, but as soon as he's outside.
That's why I
Right.
said
And
not
that's not to say that he doesn't have other magical options at his disposal that he could bring to bear.
Okay. We'd better follow him and see if there's anything that can be done at this point.
I mean, you guys seem to be more... I don't know. You seem to have it under wraps better than I do. Maybe I should sit this one out.
Now, I'll also point out that you're very near the quarters he was assigned.
So does that help us out in a way? I mean, other than us being able to kind of keep tabs on him?
It means that he might have some interesting information in there.
Are you suggesting we break into his quarters?
Yes.
I'm not suggesting that.
I'm
suggesting.
I mean, I'm sneaky.
If someone wants to do that, that's fine. But
technically, just
I'd
sneaking
like
into
to
someone's
follow.
room break rules.
I'd like to follow him and sort of mitigate the damage that may have already been done.
That's fair
Okay.
too. Kind of don't want his not slave to get hurt.
I think in this terms,
That's
though,
probably a good idea.
you're definitely more charismatic than I am when it comes to this, and a little bit more knowledgeable in how to diffuse a situation. So I'll let you do that. I think for me, though, I need to keep focusing on my self-approval, so I need to kind of go off on my own. Because I think you guys...
One bad connection.
What?
I didn't hear a single word you just said. My connection skipped out.
Oh. Awkward. So I'm just gonna say, you guys seem to be more charismatic and much better at this than I am. I I think what I'm gonna do is sit it out, and I'm just gonna go off and learn a little bit more of what I was doing, just to try and see if I can maybe, keep that train rolling.
I'm just going to point out you were responsible for this, and now you're trying to run away.
Yeah.
We could use your help. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what do you need me to do?
You could stand in the way of the lightning bolt.
Wow.
Like you can't take Drumstij. I'm pretty sure you've taken a lightning bolt before, haven't you? You'd be fine.
He's taken a disintegration ray before.
Exactly. Shut up.
Ouch.
Shut up.
Ouch.
Well, to be fair, when we were down in the Undermountain, I did get zapped a couple good times, and also a spear like every other minute was a spear thrown into my fucking right shoulder. So yeah, we're good. Drumstick, another spear comes flying through the darkness and into your shoulder.
Goblins like javelins. What can I say?
God, fucking yeah. Okay, fine. If you need me that badly for the situation, which I obviously fucked up, then fine, but tell me what to do, because I need guidance here.
Just follow me.
Okay.
Blaze?
Yes?
Do you want to come with us, or do you want to search the room?
Search the room. Search the room. Use your...
I'm gonna search the room.
Use your nails.
We're gonna go chaotic with it.
Oh my god, use your claws as a way to unlock the door.
I will also go search the room.
Okay, so Blaze and Ophelia one direction, Lauren and Drumstick in the other.
We're not One Direction.
I hate that band.
I mean, 98 degrees, whatever. I don't know.
We're not One Direction. I hate that.
Let's start with the breaking and entering crew.
Yes.
Did I get advantage there?
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know, if I ever laugh and shoot a beverage through my nose, whoever made me laugh gets advantage on their for their character.
I still have inspiration that I have.
Inspiration.
I also do. From when I did the Kool-Aid Man thing.
Yeah.
Or told you to do the Kool-Aid Man thing.
Yeah, see, I would give out inspiration more frequently if you guys actually used it when I give it to you, but it sits on your sheet.
I've definitely used mine.
I used mine that I got.
In any event, so you walk down this hallway, and Blaze, your aura sight's almost always up.
Yeah, it pretty much always is,
yeah. You do have to spend an action to cast it every 10 minutes or so, but it's almost always up.
No, I don't even think mine's every 10 minutes.
The spell lasts for 10 minutes. You can cast it as often as you want per day.
Oh, okay.
So, when you get to the room he left, you can see that there's an aura of abjuration magic around his door.
Sorry, that was the shell on the M&M got caught.
Things happen.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. Wait, I thought I had something else rather than dimension. No, I just have dimension door. Can I dimension door to the other side of the door?
Yes, you can.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah, you can dimension door. You just need to be able to verbalize where you want to go. So by saying something like, "I would like to teleport to the other side of the door," yes, you can do that.
And hope nobody's in it, but we're just gonna go and hope.
Surprise, bitch,
dimension door lets you take someone with you.
Yeah, one other person, willing person. Unfortunately, they have to be willing.
Assuming Ophelia is willing to go with, bam, you are on the other side of the door. What you see before you is almost identical to the room you were assigned. The furniture looks like it was created the same way. Things are laid out in a similar fashion. This guy's making a little bit more use of the closet space with extra robes hanging in there and things like that. But nothing laying out and about looks particularly incriminating or interesting. So you've got the beds, the closet. Only one of the beds here looks slept in. And it was left as is when he woke up and got out of it.
I feel that on a spiritual level. So.
Yeah. There's also a desk which appears like it has been used. Some writing and note taking has been gone, so there's some ink supplies, things like that. Yeah.
Is there anything besides just the supplies on the desk? Is there like any actual papers that have been written on? Why did I just get so blurry?
Give me an investigation check.
I'm not good at these. 15.
There's ink that looks like it's only recently dried on the desk. Mm-hmm. So some type of writing's gone on within the last day. There's also some paper supplies and pens that would indicate the option to do more writing.
So there's no actual notes on the actual desk.
There's a stack of blank pages, but there are no written pages.
Are the blank pages, do they have invisible ink on them or magical ink to make
That's
them?
That's what I was just gonna say. Does my eyesight go like,
No. There's no indication that these pages have ever been written on. Like they're fresh from the. I'm sure there's a complicated name for a paper manufacturer.
Paper mill?
Paper mill, there we go. It occurred to me as soon as I said it.
Are there any drawers in this desk?
No, the desk does not have any. There's a small drawer for like writing and ink supplies. But it looks like it's just a storage drawer. There's no hidden things in there.
All right. I'm gonna go take a peek through the closet. Be sketchy as shit now.
Mm-hmm. One of the robes has a magical glow to it.
Oh. I want to check that shit out.
And let me double check a thing before I speak.
Oh no.
Yes.
I'm gonna fucking explode.
Here we go. There we go. Okay. Most of the robes are fairly straightforward robes in the Thayan style.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a lot of swirly, intricate designs on them. They almost it's just a two-tone color scheme. Usually, these are all black on red. But if it was any more colors than that, you'd absolutely describe them as gaudy. Kind of looks like that like brocade type pattern where you've got a stitched pattern on top of the rope. The other one is made of the same material, but there are patches all over it. Patches that look like daggers. There's one that looks like a rowboat. There's a lantern. Just random mundane items all over this rope.
That's weird. I guess it's technically not weird. Is it just a bunch of stuff on this rope?
And that particular rope is magic.
Oh, okay. I missed that part, apparently.
Yeah.
Can I tell what type of magic?
Conjuration.
don't know what to do. What do I do, Ophelia?
No. The pages or
The pages are blank, and as far as you
Yeah.
can tell, they are just normal sheets of unwritten paper.
Is
okay.
there what's in the pockets of this robe? Anything interesting?
Give me another investigation check.
Fuck, I'm bad at these. 2 to a 1. I can't find the pockets.
You can this robe may not have pockets. Not all robes do. You just see her fumbling around with the robe, like it falls off the hanger it's on twice, and she has to rehang it.
Let me see that robe. I rolled a 20 for an investigation check just now, so.
Okay. One thing you can tell for certain is that all of these robes, all the things in this closet, now look like they've been moved around and searched. Blaze's fumbling search has done at least that.
Time to die.
Now, one of the other robes does have a pocket. You can feel the weight of something in that pocket move when you go to adjust the robe and do your best to replace things as they were. When you go and poke into that, you can tell this one does have a concealed area on it. It's kind of like you felt the weight of the item in a pocket, and it takes you a little while to figure out where the opening of that pocket is, because the opening is hidden in one of the robe's seams. When you eventually find it and wiggle it out, there is a tiny book inside, maybe 4 inches by 3 inches. And it's got a leather cover on it. It's a red leather. There are no words on the outside of the book. There is a single symbol which you recognize immediately. It is, and I am gonna have to check my notes here again as I look something up because I couldn't remember exactly what it is. It's a skull inside a triangle, which is the holy symbol of Merkil. He was the god of the dead before Kelemvor.
Do I know why someone would have this holy symbol on them at all?
Well, you know Kelemvor is a judge of souls.
Yes.
Merkil didn't care about any of that. He saw death as a better state of being.
Oh.
Normally, the people who would still worship him now are almost 100% necromancers.
Boy. I'm gonna open the book.
I'm not going to go into too much detail with what you see in here, but it is blasphemous from your point of view. These are the holy teachings of Merkil. Unholy teachings of Merkil. Now, just as a reminder, this is almost certainly the book that was referenced by the servant. You just kind of get the feeling that this is the book that was stolen. You went to a considerable effort to conceal it, and it is not a easy book to find. It is, however, part of Candlekeep's collection.
We should return
they
it
have.
then.
Can we tell if it's like the original or if it's a copy?
It is an old book. So if it is a copy, it is an old copy of that book.
They don't put like when they make copies, they don't put this is a copy on the inside. I feel like that's something they would do.
No, because that would be changing the book, and then that's something else they would not like.
Jesus Christ. I mean, how old are we talking? Like really old, or just like old?
Give me a rough guess. You're going to say it is older than you are.
That's helpful. I mean,
Ophelia, worship of Mercule has not been as common since Kelemvor rose to prominence, and that's been nearly 150 years. Mercule's not gone, he's just kicked out of his main job.
So
do
he
you
still
think
exists.
it's real?
Yes. You know for absolute certainty that Mercule is not destroyed. He is still out there somewhere.
Do I have any way of telling if this book is real or not?
Well, first, give me a religion check on the topic of Mercule.
Okay.
My ear itches.
20. Dirty 20.
Okay. Kelemvor rose to power when Mercule, Bane, and Bout tried to more or less take over the godly realm. At the end of that, they were stripped of their position as true gods. They no longer have a position within the assigned order of things. So they're rogue gods. They're not bound by the same rules that normal gods are. So they are currently residing on Faerun somewhere. They have a physical form on this world. Now, what was your second question?
Do I have any way to tell if this book is real or not?
Everything appears to be 100% authentic.
Okay.
And you would label it as extremely dangerous because it teaches what it teaches.
This book is legit.
All right.
Don't sound
say
so
it's legit.
enthusiastic.
Hey, I don't mean that like that. I just mean, okay, it's legit. We found it. Let's make shit like we weren't here. And I'm gonna once again try and fix the fuck up I did. I'm just gonna.
So if you're... What type of skill check do you think that would be to recreate things as they were?
Stealth or survival?
Why a stealth check?
Because I'm hiding why I wasn't. I'm hiding why I wasn't there. That was not English. I'm hiding the fact that I was there. I'm covering that fact up.
So
Or sleight of hand.
let's start with an intelligence check to see how well you remember things as they were when you came into the room.
Uh-oh.
And then we'll call it a performance check to put things back the way they were.
10. And 11 minus 1.
Okay.
Okay, now it's a performance check.
Mm-hmm.
Nat 20 to a 25.
Alright. You tidy up. Things look good as you would leave them if it was your room, and you bothered to tidy up.
Okay. I'm not gonna realize it's wrong.
Right.
So, are we ready to go?
Is there anything else you want to try and find in this room first?
I mean, this is all we needed.
Okay, let's get out of here.
What are you doing with the book when you leave? Are you returning it to where you found it or taking it with you?
We should take this back to the library.
Yeah, that was gonna be my suggestion.
Okay. Now, When you go back to the door, you see that magical aura around the door again.
Oh no. I mean, I was gonna dimension door again to get out.
Okay, so we're going to dimension door back out? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to touch the door. I'm dumb. I'm not that dumb.
So now Warren and Drumstij, you guys are walking back into the tavern, following the wizard Azir.
Yes, and we should make it as inconspicuous as possible. I'll be making loud yawning noises. Just kidding.
Way to really sell this Drumstij.
Yeah.
Just
As far as inconspicuous goes, you are certainly the only Minotaur here, and possibly the tallest person currently in residence.
clop, 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 clop.
Also hooves.
Yes.
Okay. So we've caught sight of Azir then.
Yes.
And
You
he
have
has
not caught
not-
sight of a servant.
Okay. We're going to. I'd like to catch up to him and sort of get his attention, and just sort of beckon like, we need to talk where there's no one looking over here.
Give me a persuasion check again.
$14 this time.
You can tell he's kind of keeping his temper in check, but he agrees to go with you. Then the closest place you can think of to be out of sight and out of ear would be around the back corner of the building.
Okay.
Make your words quick.
Indeed. I've had a talk with my servant, and the situation was not as either of us expected. It sounded as if your servant was guilty of treason, and I will not second guess the laws of your land. But having gotten the explanation from Drumstij, I would actually commend your servant on his selflessness, the fact that he was willing to sacrifice his own life to do what he thought would aid you.
Aid me.
Indeed.
He's barely competent as a servant.
Well, it seems like the one thing he felt that he had to give was his life, and it seems like he may have been offering that to help you. You see, he did not give this information to my servant, at least not willingly. Drumstij here approached the lad and threatened him with violence. He was quite interested in learning more about what you were doing here. And it seemed that he convinced the lad that if they were to get in a fight, that even though Drumstij was the one that started it, both parties would be seen to be in violation of the laws in Candlekeep, and both you and I would have been banished from the premises at best. So he gave my servant barely enough information. Something about he believed that you were here seeking some sort of knowledge. And my servant Drumstij here confronted you with that. I do not know why. As I said, there are other people in play that have been watching you here. And
came over me.
I think that your servant, rather than allowing you to be kicked out of Candlekeep for the actions of my servant, willingly gave him information that he knew would mean the end of his own life.
Okay. Give me a roll for charismatic bullshit. I mean, deception.
Charismatic bullshit.
Now, I am not proficient in this, so cross your fingers.
Now, can I help by actually being like, kind of like looking down, being like, I look like I just got scolded by him.
If you can pass the performance check, I'll give him advantage on the roll.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
Because I do not believe you feel bad.
21.
Okay. He looks like he feels bad.
Okay.
He's remembered other times where he's felt bad.
I'm trying to remember those times.
Okay. So my first roll was a 12. Do you want me to take advantage on that then?
Yeah, take advantage.
Then that 12 goes to an 18.
Okay. If your story matches up with my servant's, I may show mercy. And that word mercy, when it comes out of his mouth, you can see that he had to think for a minute what the name for this sort of thing was.
Well, I have a proposal for you because I have also become involved in this. My servant's actions have put my own plans in jeopardy as well. I did not even know you would be here, and certainly our plans do not align, and yet fate has put us in this situation together. So I have a proposal for you. Spare your servant. Mine will take responsibility for him. To be meted out at some point, obviously outside of Candlekeep, because we cannot have an incident here. It would put both of our plans in jeopardy. However, whatever it is you have come here to do, as I said, there are agents looking over your shoulder. I would say that whatever your plans were here, perhaps we could change them. Your search here has already been compromised. Had your servant not been willing to sacrifice his life, you would likely have already been ejected by now. So whatever you're doing here, they may try again. My suggestion is this. We are acquaintances now. Perhaps not friends, but maybe we can be. On your return to Waterdeep, I have my own resources, inside and outside the city. Perhaps we can find a better way to whatever it is you have come here to procure. Perhaps we can find a better way.
Are you implying you have influence in Waterdeep?
I do.
What's your position within the city?
High mage.
I do not
I'm a
hold.
blackstaff.
I do not hold political position, if that's what you are asking. Rather, I work outside of the political structure, which I'm sure you can attest affords me certain advantages that those with more public positions do not have. But suffice it to say, I am known within the city at high and low levels, and have influence over both.
Give me another persuasion check, because all of that was more or less true.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily willing to help him because I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, what I'm saying it because I believe it to be true. And that's an 18 again.
An 18 again? Okay.
Yeah.
Very well. I will return to Waterdeep immediately, and perhaps I will visit your establishment. We can have another conversation,
Oh
Oh my
no.
god.
one that profits us both.
He's gonna get
Rodrigo.
drunk with Rodrigo. Oh my god.
I look forward to this. Perhaps this will be a mutually beneficial partnership. And bring that servant of yours as well. I since I said I would take responsibility for my servant, perhaps it would be best if he were, what am I trying to say here?
I'm curious where you're going with it.
Perhaps if you sold him into slavery to us. No.
No,
No, I'm
bring your
not saying
servant.
that.
Bring your servant with you. He has, as incompetent as you may have judged him to be, he is at least more loyal to you than mine was to me.
You got that right.
So, as far as people we can trust, I would put him higher on the list.
All right. This guy has a pretty good poker face, so you don't know how he takes that last bit. But he does give you kind of a half polite, courtly bow, and removes himself from the conversation.
Okay.
About that time is when you see Blaze and Ophelia walking back towards the tavern.
Hi.
So Drumstij is in a lot of trouble, but I'm sure we can get him out of it. It's not the first. It couldn't be worse than having sold his
What
soul.
now? What now?
I
He
had to
sold
throw
me
him
into
under the.
slavery.
Oh shit.
No.
Why are you like this?
Listen.
God. That's why people don't like humans.
He
Slavery?
got himself in.
Bad.
He
Slavery
got
bad.
himself in. Okay, listen. He has not been sold into slavery. I could not sell him into slavery if I wanted to. No one would accept him as a slave. He would be
Fair.
awful.
Okay,
Fair.
that I can
No one could get him
The
anywhere.
worst one, but okay.
I'd be too expensive.
Okay, whatever you want to believe. Look, we had to throw him under the bus. The guy blames him for everything. I told him he could punish the guy in lieu of his own servant. Probably gonna zap him to death or something. We'll deal with that when we come to it.
Whoa. I don't want anybody getting zapped to death.
We can't let that happen because then he'll turn back into whatever he sold his soul to turn into. I'm just saying, it's something we're gonna have to deal with. And Drumstij, again, this is something you got yourself into, all right? Don't blame me.
I'm holding my tongue.
I mean,
Regardless, we may also be getting a visit from the fan ambassador to Waterdeep. I figure it's probably going to turn political pretty quickly, but we're going to play it by ear.
I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
we found something on the deal.
Okay.
We found something.
What did you find?
I'm gonna look at. Ophelia? Yes. I just had a moment of like, which game is this? Which character name am I trying to say? Yeah. You have the book?
Yeah, I have the book.
What book would that be?
Just your friendly neighborhood necromancy book.
Okay. I assume this is not a normal necromancy book. You obviously felt the need to confiscate it.
Yeah, we're gonna return it to the library inconspicuously.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on the DL.
So you think this was what he came here to steal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Then you're probably correct in that we should probably just return it without letting anyone know that we're in permission of stolen or in
That's exactly why I don't want to.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We're just
in
gonna go back to
possession.
the library and just like slip it onto a table and walk away. That's my idea. Assuming we're allowed to just go into the library and not be accosted.
Well, the way the necessariums work is you are in an office study type room where you request books and they are brought to you.
That's
and then
awkward,
immediately return. Right. The books are never truly out of sight of any of the acolytes.
Okay, I have an idea.
Now, I'm also going to add one more facet to make sure that you're aware of this, Ophelia. This is something you feel is a dangerous book. So leaving it somewhere where someone else might find it before an acolyte does would not be great.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it's secured, you should be okay with that.
Put it in a book return bin.
Okay, I have a plan.
Dropping a book is not allowed.
I have a plan. The guy said he was going to leave immediately. I did my best to convince him that there were people following him intent on foiling whatever his plan was, which may be true. You never know. That could be true. But he seemed to buy it to the point where he said he was going to collect his servant and leave immediately.
Oh, good.
We wait until he leaves, and then we will simply approach one of the librarians and say, hey, I was wandering by an unused room. The door was open. This book was sitting on the table, and I thought that was very curious. Then it's not our problem. And we won't cause a political incident by getting him killed in Candlekeep, because he'll have already been gone.
So would you like to do this because you sound very confident? Because I want to keep reading about my shit.
All right, I'll do it. Fine.
Not to be selfish or anything, but if this goes wrong, I need to learn more before we get kicked out.
Drumstij, you have been such a punching bag today that you have earned it. Go look into your Prosta recipes and shapeshifting.
Oh my god, I can't wait to learn about Prosta. And I'm just gonna go.
That was a strange way to say pasta, man.
The devil's wear Prosta.
Fuck you. That movie was actually pretty good. But so I'm going to go off and do my thing. And yeah, I'm gonna let you guys do whatever you need to do.
Drumstick to the Necessarium.
Yes.
Alright. And then the rest of you. Their plan was to wait until after the Thayan ambassador leaves.
Yeah, I want him to be gone because I don't want us to get any worse than it already is.
Okay, and then you want to take the book to an acolyte directly.
I'm just gonna say I noticed it was sitting in an unused room, and I thought that was very odd because normally books aren't just left here unattended.
Okay. So, barely 30 minutes pass before the Azir Khan collects his materials and leaves in a hurry. He's moving with intent when he's making his way towards the exit gate. And there is a bit of a drawn-out conversation between him and the acolytes on his way out. But you're far too far away to know what's going on there. And he's allowed to leave. So he's free and clear of the gate without incident.
Well, that's something at least. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we're just gonna do this whole thing. We're improvising here.
Okay.
Once he's gone, yeah, I'll give it a certain amount of time, and then I'll do this.
Right, now, in your time here, you've noticed that the acolytes come in a couple of different ranks. They have a really complex hierarchy inside the library. But you can see that there's one type of acolyte which does logistical things. Sweeping, cleaning, maintenance, etc. There's another type of acolyte which are mostly functionaries of the Necessarium, involved with taking things, getting research materials for seekers. There's also a military monk guard flavor of acolyte. These are the eagle-eyed guys that are just constantly kind of scanning the scene and keeping an eye on things in general. And then there's another flavor which wanders the hall reciting the prophecies of Alondo again and again and again, most of which sound like gibberish until one of them inevitably comes true, which they often do. Where would you like to take this?
Okay, so if there is a set of warrior monks that are just keeping a keen eye on everything, I don't want to be seen walking through the hallways just taking this book. So I'm going to take a book to them. I don't want to make it look like I have anything to hide, because I don't. This isn't my book.
Okay.
I just want to get rid of it.
Okay. So you're going to go up to one of the guard types, book in hand.
Yeah, I mean, there's security around here. This seems like a security issue.
Okay. The monk is silent, but judging you immediately upon seeing you, and you're pretty seasoned in combat, so you can see that he shifts his stance just a little bit, but you know he's primed to do something without moving more than a fraction of an inch.
Hopefully that something is taking a book.
He doesn't say anything as you get close to him, like he's waiting for you to speak to him.
If you'll pardon me, sir, I was passing through the dormitories, whatever you would call the place where people sleep. Happened to glance at one of the doors that were ajar and saw this particularly interesting book sitting on the table there, which seems odd to me. The room was unused, so I'm simply looking for a place to return it. Philia said something about a book drop. I didn't see one, so.
I would like a
bin.
deception check, please.
I need an overnight bin.
I'm going to make you use all of the skills you don't have as often as possible.
Well, you know what? I rolled an 18 on this one.
Okay.
So.
Jesus Christ. My anxiety was high.
His stance softens when you explain what's going on. And he's like, "Thank you, Seeker. That was the responsible thing to do. I do not know how this tome... I can't imagine how this tome slipped free, but we will investigate thoroughly." And then he takes this tiny book with both hands. And your assistance is appreciated. And he goes to return this book to where it belongs. You should feel like you got away with one there.
Yeah, I do.
We did a good thing.
His roll on insight was almost as bad as your roll for deception was good.
Did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a +0 on that one, so that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his insight's not quite as good as yours. Not quite. So that leaves you free and clear of dealings with the Fan Ambassador now.
Now we have to pray that he doesn't figure out that we were up to something when he goes to our fucking house.
Now that I think about it, I almost feel like maybe Warren should become proficient in deception, because it's almost impossible to get a lie by me, which means that I should be decent at spinning a good lie. Maybe if I get a chance, I'll put I don't think I'll ever use it. It just seems like something I might be good at it by this point.
Are you going to try and just lie for a whole whole session
No,
straight and not tell the truth at least once?
I practically never lie. You know what? That was I think that might be the first outright lie Warren's told, at least in a long time. When
Yeah,
I was
you don't lie much.
when I was dealing with Azir, I was taking a page out of all this infernal contract law that I've been studying up on. They don't tell lies, they simply omit information.
Hmm.
So I was simply,
So
omitting
you're
information.
saying that because you can now relate to an infernal point of view, you've grown as a person?
Listen, you're not a
Maybe.
dwarf. You're not a devil. You need to stop this.
I'm just saying, take what works.
Okay.
Oh,
So
this is what humans do. They just try to be everything.
Drumstick in the Necessarium. You're greeted with respect, the same as all other seekers. You know what you're like and how scholarly you are not. But every one of the acolytes here has treated you with a measure of respect equal to everyone else.
I blush.
What do you seek today?
You know, I'm gonna go back on my bullshit, but instead of just druidic, just straight up stuff, I need to look up to see if you have any druidic spells more along the lines of fortification of strength.
He nods, leaves, returns. Um, the book he returns with, the cover has got it's a birch bark cover, um, and when you sit down and start to read it, um, much of it's in a language you can't read.
What language is it?
Sylvan?
Okay, I was gonna say I know Common, Elvish, Minotaur, and Orc. I do not know Sylvan.
Yeah, yeah. Most of it's in a language you can't read, and when you're looking at the pages after a while, you like the pages are made out of leaves that may still actually be living leaves. Um, and you find a prayer, a basic prayer to Sylvanas. It's called the name of the prayer is Call of Oak, Ash, and Thorn.
Huh.
And what it describes here is the proper way to send a prayer to Sylvanas the Oak Father. You collect clippings from 3 living trees: ash, oak, and thorn. You bundle them up together and float them on clean water and recite your prayer. And Sylvanas should hear that prayer.
Clippings as in twigs, or are we talking about like leaves?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't matter which. Okay. Just as long as
You don't know. Yeah, it doesn't go into that much detail with it. It refers to it in a way that assumes you know exactly what they're talking about, like religious texts do.
Okay. Huh.
If your heart's in the right place, something will happen.
Well, this is the only thing that I can truly
Now,
kind of understand, but I think this may help. So I'm gonna kind of take that to heart. I'm going to ask them if they can kind of make a copy of this one specific spell, or this not spell, but this kind of prayer for me.
it's not a spell. It's a prayer.
Yeah, this one prayer for
And
me.
yes, they will do that. There is a monetary cost. You're fairly wealthy, so I'm not even going to bother worrying about it.
Yeah.
Bitch, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Now,
Cha-ching!
the rest of you enter. I assume you're going to the necessariums after you've dealt with the Thayan ambassador. Um, do you have any other research topics in mind for the beginning of this day?
I'm gonna let them all do their thing and just sit in the corner and read my secretly read my calisthenics manual.
Okay.
I'm doing that thing where I got 2 books, and like one of them is like something really complicated, like the general theory of like infernal law and how it like relates to the cosmological
blowing.
wheel. And then
Mhm.
inside of it, I got the smaller, like, how to do jumping jacks and push-ups.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to be like me, huh?
Yeah. It's the book's actually titled Art of the Flex.
Part of the
Written
flex.
by Drumstij.
It's just a picture book.
What if it was written by me, but like years ago, and I totally forgot about it?
That would be beautiful.
Or it's written by you in the future. You never know. Anything could
All right,
anything
so
could get
you're going to continue to study the infernal text you've been working with. Ophelia, do you have research topics left to explore?
I'm not sure. Do they have a newspaper section?
Current events?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What area?
Shit, what was that place? Skullport.
Skullport. Okay. Recent events in Skullport are one of the few areas the library does not have.
Oh.
They make an actual reference to the fact that Skullport is lacking in journalists, which is ironic because Vielle.
Well, she's not super trustworthy.
Yeah.
Really more of a tabloid than a reporter.
Well, I mean, who knows?
But it does give a more general history of Skullport.
Okay.
The fact that the city's been occupied by various groups, constantly changing, and often a debate over when someone takes over, if someone's in charge, when they're no longer in charge. And that goes back into history. It mentions that Skullport was almost certainly originally formed by or at the instruction of Hallister the Mad. Now, recently, as of the Spell Plague, approximately 100 years ago, Skullport was devastated. Cavern collapse, it was a mess. And then the city's been rebuilding from there. The most recent information you have that you can find here is that the Zentarum were in control of Skullport. But you know that to be inaccurate, the Xanathar Guild is currently in control of Skullport.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may have noticed the other day I posted a couple of links in the lore section of the Carpe Nerdus Discord.
Mm-hmm.
One of those links is on Skullport.
Ooh.
Feel free to read all of that and have access to that information.
Okay.
Blaze, I think we got time for a research topic here, too.
I want information about Celestials and also if there's anything about communing with patrons, because do I know how to fucking do with that? No.
When you go look into communing with a warlock patron,
Mhm.
It does not take you long to discover that each patron is different.
Yeah.
And has
Kind of
their
what I
own
figured.
specific methods of contact. Now, your patron is not a common type of being for a warlock pack. Very few warlock packs are made directly with a deity.
Yay.
Now, you can find a whole lot of general information on communing with a deity.
Yeah, that's probably where I want to start.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to start.
And the first thing that they mention is a prayer. And much like what Drumstij just found, it's usually a simple ceremony which pretty much addresses your prayer to the proper deity, and it will be received. There is no obligation to reply and very little expectation of one. To go beyond that and actually commune and speak back and forth. Most deities don't answer the phone unless there's a specific reason to. Now, followers who've been invested with power are more likely to have that call answered than others.
Mm-hmm.
But you still want to follow the proper protocol.
Yeah.
In the case of Saloon, proximity to her physical manifestation, the moon, or one of her holy sites is ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Holy sites for Saloon are always open to the sky, and they generally are elevated positions. Mountain peaks or places where you can be just a little bit closer to the moon than other cases.
Guys, let's go climb a mountain.
There is also reference to a specific spell which can communicate with any type of powerful being. It is called drawing a blank on the spell. Contact outer plane? Something like that. It's a 5th or 6th level spell. And there's a big red warning box around this one that says, mentions the possibility of mental damage and insanity.
Oh, yay!
Because it's an unfiltered connection.
Yeah, let's not do that. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Just do it. Fuck it.
If it's my only option, I'd do it. But I think there's other places to start before doing that.
Looking at the spell, you would be particularly not great at.
Shut up!
Not play to your strengths.
Leave
I believe
me
it involves
alone.
an intelligence. Yeah, it involves an intelligence check.
Oh,
So I said, last resort.
Mm-hmm. One thing that gets mentioned is when they're talking about physical locations, they reference the tiers of Saloon, which are a series of I'm not sure what word they would use, but we would call them asteroids.
Okay.
That orbit the moon.
Okay.
And that if you were to travel to one of these asteroids to commune with Saloon, it's
Close to the moon.
exactly. Actually going physically to Saloon, the physical Saloon is the moon.
Yeah.
Is just that's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not
Find
and
a
not just
spelljammer
because
somewhere.
not just because there's a colony of illithids on the dark side of the moon.
You said illithids. I thought you said elephants. I was like, what?
Colony of elephants on the moon.
And that's not worse.
It's less confusing to be like, okay, he said illithids, not elephants. Elephants is by far more confusing.
Yeah.
Is there anything on how you get to said? I'm just gonna say the word asteroids.
There's a section of a book that's badly damaged.
Oh.
And there's just a single word that you can make out of the entire passage that has any value. Stardock.
Stardock. Can I get information on that?
Maybe next week.
Okay. Okay, fine. Jeez. Just be an information cuck. God. I almost went to drink my drink while it was closed, so.
I think that puts us at a good place to stop for tonight. I I spent a good chunk of yesterday preparing for Rozzy to be here tonight, forgetting she wasn't going to be here tonight.
What a bitch.
So, thank you for adapting to my plan I came up with on the fly when Rozzy reminded me she was not going to be here tonight. But yeah, we'll be back next week. We've got Curse of the Azure Bonds on Sunday, and a continuation of whatever this is, Waterdeep and Beyond, on our Monday night games. Until then, Evil Sales S on Twitter is where you can find me. If you go out, wear a mask. Just do that, and then we can have a conversation. If you're not wearing a mask, I'm not even going to talk to you. So, Jess, go for it.
Everything in me just wanted to do an intro yet again. I should just do it for. Oh,
Do it. Just do it.
You can find me at Sweet Nine Tails on Twitter and the Instagrams. I don't fucking know. Like Kevin says, wear a fucking mask in a store. Even though I can't kick you out if you come into my store. Because
We can.
Pharmacy, we're not allowed to.
We're offering curbside service, so we're offering a reasonable accommodation for anyone who claims they have a medical condition that prevents them from wearing a mask. Get the
There
fuck
you
out.
go. Wear a fucking mask.
Yeah.
Don't complain if your cashier looks really exhausted. Because wearing a mask for like 12 hours is not fun.
This is correct.
The amount of complaints I've got of, you look so tired. Yeah, I've been wearing this mask for friggin' 10 hours now.
Sweaty masks, not great. Not
it's
great.
Terrible when it's like so hot in the store.
And yet, wear your mask.
Yes. If you're going into a store quickly, you literally have no excuse. No excuse.
But my freedoms.
Fuck your freedoms.
Yeah, fuck
Go
your
get
freedom.
COVID. I'm gonna pass it off to Nick.
Hello, yes, BlueAura94YT is my Twitter name. Agreed, wear a fucking mask when you go in public. I'll break your shins. Don't even kiss me, bro. Like, this isn't even the time for that.
Break my shin. Please break my shin.
Yo, try and kiss me, I'll break your shit. No. But yeah, I'm just melting in the heat. It feels great, though, because I love wearing short sleeve everything. But oh my fucking god, once that humidity kicks in, I'm out. But yeah,
Welcome to the East Coast in summer.
Yeah, other than that, let's move it over to the right side of the screen. Hey, Jen.
Oh, hi. I have no directional awareness of what's going on our screen whatsoever. You can find me on Twitter at SummonerXI, yelling at stupid conservatives and Trump-tards.
I prefer the term maggot.
Ha!
Also a good word. Anyway, I'm going to pass it off to Oliver.
Okay. Now that we've got all that out of the way, you can't find me anywhere complaining about anything. At all.
Truly the wisest of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do not have any sort of social media presence. Where you can find me is our Discord, which I will still not be complaining there, but you can find me there. The link is somewhere. Go find it.
It is down below the video. Unless you're watching this on YouTube, then I don't know where it's at.
Presumably it's there
YouTube,
too.
Honestly.
Yeah. So that's that. Go click on that if you want to, and it takes you to the place where we can all be found.
That sounds really creepy, but
that. I mean, it gets creepy sometimes.
Yeah.
Take us to the.
I've been trying to drop more lore links into Discord that are relevant to what we've been doing. So that's a great resource for players and viewers alike.
Indeed, indeed.
Having said all that, Nick, shut it down.
Alrighty. Have a great night, everyone.